When it comes to any movie, I look for something at its core that everybody can relate to, and that desire to have a connection with our loved ones, with our friends who have gone before us. I think every single person on the planet can relate to. And to put this flat piece of wood down in front of you, as simple as the alphabet, and say all it takes is to use this instrument and you'll be able to achieve that connection. It's one of those things that seems so too good to be true. And so, especially in the case of these movies, it certainly is. When you're sending a signal out into a realm you can't see, people talk about a Ouija board as being like an open line of communication. When you're just able to see the response, when you're just looking at the letters, that's all you really have to go on. The thing that really that I think really puts the hair on the back of my neck up is that you never know who's on the other line. She was the only actress who had come in and chosen not to try to deliver the monologue as though it was frightening or scary or disturbing. She delivered it casually, innocently, and with a smile, which was such a sophisticated choice, and exactly how I wanted it to be read in the film, that I felt immediately like this young actress is leagues ahead of her time. The thing about Elizabeth Reaser is that her eyes just project everything that's happening in her mind and in her heart. She's one of the most open actresses I've ever seen. And so the three of them together just created such a perfect dynamic. It was so much more than I had ever imagined when we were writing. We approached this as though we would have approached any period drama about a single mother and her daughters. That was our first priority. The scares and the horror elements, because of the attention paid to that, I think land even more than they would if this was just a horror movie. There's something different once that is introduced into the family home. She knows the rules of the board, which are never play alone, never play in a graveyard, and always say goodbye. But they break them. And after that, there's something unleashed. The stunt work in this movie was particularly challenging because a lot of it had to be accomplished within this actual house. On another movie, you might be able to build the house on the soundstage and have a lot more control over how to rig a stunt. But we have characters flying through the air, flying up against walls, flying up and down stairs, dangling in front of the foyer. We had to do that in the actual space.
Ouija, l'origine del male.